します。Let me begin this morning by reading Shokshu number 22, Key Testing. The mind is an ungraspable thing that has no color, odor, or shape. However, because the mind and body are one, we can know the state of ungraspable mind by testing the body. This is key testing. A key test is not a test to determine strength or weakness. It is important that the person that performs a key test first experience unification of one's own mind and body, and then perform a correct test to let a partner know his or her state of mind. So when we ask someone to give us a key test, we're asking for them to help us discover our own state of mind. There are 5 principles of this, and the key testing, and it always sounds like it's referring just to the examiner. But whatever state the examiner is in, the examinee has to be in that same state in order to discover their own state of mind. The first principle is a key test is to check state of mind, not state of body. And it just said here in the Shokshu, you can know the state of ungraspable mind by testing the body. But the first principle says you're not to test the body. Very interesting. So apparently it's not about the body. It's about the state of mind. In our daily life, we're always practicing, right? Always practicing something. I might not be consciously practicing, like in the dojo. That's usually what we refer to as keiko. But really, every moment is keiko. In our daily life, whether we're waking or sleeping. Even if we're sleeping, we're practicing sleeping. Everything is practicing something. Practicing chasing, practicing running. We're always doing something. That's keiko. The nature of keiko is it always is being done for a result. So we call this like self-improvement. Self-improvement is what we're involved in all the time. But there's 2 kinds of practice, keiko practice and shugyo practice. Shugyo practice is when we bring our awareness to keiko practice. When we bring our awareness, our noticing to the moment at hand. And so in a key test, we're testing to see if we are practicing shugyo or just keiko. If we're just practicing keiko, we want a result because that's the purpose of keiko. So the result will be we want to pass the key test. And if you want to pass a key test, you've already failed the key test. We know this. Why? Because you're going to react by trying to be immovable. And you can never try to be immovable. You either are or you aren't. And trying to be means you aren't. You don't believe you are. So you're trying to become immovable. But our natural state is immovable. So when we bring shugyo, when we're in shugyo practice, we are in our natural condition of openness and clarity. So we don't have to do anything to pass a key test. We don't have to do anything to discover the state of our mind. The state of our mind will be obvious to ourselves and to others by the time we have completed the key test. That's why we have the three main parts of the key test, which are see, feel, and confirm. Means we watch everywhere, the whole of the body of the examinee. We touch the chest of the examinee in this case. For the first test, we touch and feel the state. And just like when you're in a restaurant and you sit down and the table's not stable, as soon as you touch that table, you know it's not stable. In the same way, as soon as you touch a body of a person that is not stable, you feel it in their body. If you are in a state of mind-body unification, you will feel it in the body. Hopefully by this time, the examinee also has become aware of their state of mind. But just in case they haven't, we extend ki through the body of the UK. And this confirms. If they're unstable, their body will move. If they're not unstable, their body will not move. This is different than pushing on the body. Pushing on the body tests the body of the examinee, not the mind. Extending ki while touching the body of the examinee checks their state of mind. Of course, we're on Zoom here. We're not in a classroom. We can't. I usually at this point say, okay, do that with your partner. We can't do that with our partner here in this setting. But before long, we are going to have our dojos open, aren't we? We're hoping by the end of this month, in the month of April, we'll be able to open our dojo. Because it looks like everything is receding disease-wise, at least for now. And so then please, as soon as you begin to train again together in your dojo, this is the first thing you should practice. Check state of mind, not state of body. Okay, let's do some key breathing. I think every seminar that we have begins with key testing, review. Why do we do that so many times? Because it's the closest thing there is to everyday life that we do in the dojo. It's most like what's happening in every moment. Every moment, of course, is a key test of one kind or another. It's an invitation to bring our awareness, to bring our shugyo practice to the moment, so that we're not just focused on results. So we're just not only goal-oriented. Yes, we will remain goal-oriented because we need to constantly survive, so that it's inbuilt in the system. But also at the same time, we must bring our awareness to oversee, to be aware of, to notice what's happening. And when we do that, we're already passing the key test. We've already fulfilled the need of the key test. The key purpose of the key test is to be aware of or know the state of our mind. And once we bring our awareness here, we know our state of mind. That's the same thing as shugyo. There's nothing to discover because once we're aware, we know. It's like, we have this, people often ask, well, do I really have to love my enemy? No, you don't have to love them. Well, yes, you have to love them, but you don't have to like them. Liking and disliking, that's a Keiko thing. That's a small mind thing. That's always going to be there. You'll always have preferences. Don't try to fight with that. Loving your enemy means bringing your whole mind and body, bringing all of your awareness, being in Shugyo in the moment when you're faced with a difficult situation, with a bully, or someone that's trying to negate you or dismiss you. You bring your awareness. We bring our Shugyo, our love, to this moment. And we bathe in this, we rest in it, in the warmth of this, and the knowingness of this, and the clarity of this. So you may not like them very much, but you don't have a problem with them, because you can rest in your knowing. Okay, so could you please make a comment or ask me a question? I know you have them, comments and questions.
Hello, Sensei.
Hello, how are you?
Fine. Just as being in community in a group that has a common goal or a culture, I find this group is and the teachings constantly a way to elevate our awareness, and we need that reminder as we go through our practice. It is constant reminder. But as we get better at it, the reminder becomes our own to help others to do the same. I find that to expand our community, we need more members to be open to the fact of sharing and having a better, bigger community to spread this practice.
Yeah. So I discovered some time ago that, well, I used to think that when I became a teacher, then my job was to correct everyone and help them to understand. Well, in some sense, here I am speaking, teaching, and giving a teaching. And so maybe there's some aspect of that. But I think the meaning of teaching is being in the state of mind that you are talking about. And if you are, then in very few situations do you even have to talk about it. Yes, situation like this, you come to me and you are expecting me to say something. So I have to say something. It's an opportunity, as you so well said, for us all to get together and inspire each other and bring each other's level of awareness up. And so that's for each one of us. We do that as a group, though. And so when I'm saying, and thank you for coming, you always come right away with a comment, which is very helpful. When I ask you, okay, do you have a question or a comment? Don't be shy, because whatever you ask or whatever you say will inspire everyone in the group. We're doing this together. It's not just me teaching you. I do give you some sort of subject to address within yourself. But when you don't say anything, then the whole group is waiting for you, wondering, are you not affected by this at all? Perhaps. And maybe some people just like to keep to themselves. That's okay too. But Shinichi Sensei says at the end of the seminar, he often says, okay, take 5 minutes and tell each other what you understood about this, or how this teaching affected you. Excuse me. And then he said to us, when I do that because when you speak, ask about what the question is, or comment on what the question is, or what the subject is, the theme of the talk. You retain about 80% of whatever it was that was happening. But when you don't tell anybody about it, or ask anything about it, or discuss it in any way, then we leave with about 20% of it. That's what Shinichi Sensei told us. And I think this is a popular theory that has been tested many times scientifically to see what we take away from a gathering. So it's not a small thing. Your participation, it's big, and I like it, so give me some more.
Thank you, Sensei. It's a great way to express our practice.
All right, someone else, please.
Good morning, Sensei. It's Phoenix. Can you hear me?
I can. Hello, Phoenix.
Hello. Thank you so much for your teaching. And what struck me when you were talking was about the generosity that's involved in what you are offering us and what we asking us to offer each other, in terms of with where my mind may be arguing, my mind may be judging, whatever, but that sense of in the moment saying, oh, just loving this person, just seeing them with kindness, like just allowing that to be is such a, it's very effective for me, because it just changes my mind in that second. In that second, I'm not fighting. I put down my sword, so to speak. So thank you very much.
Yeah, the sword of judgment. That we cut away what we don't like and just keep what we do like. Yeah, this is so... I used to listen to my teacher, Suzuki Sensei. When I first met him, I was very impressed with him, and I could tell that he was very wise, but I always listened to him with half a mind. I always listened to him because I was forming myself. I was collecting evidence to support my philosophy that I was building, my teaching, my structure that I was building, only to find out later on that I was really supposed to be dissolving that structure, not building it up. And the only way was just to listen without judgment. I will admit that it took many, many years for me to come to the point of that. But the teaching is all in, what I'm saying here, this is right in Toi Sensei's teaching. But maybe that it wasn't always taught so openly, Like somebody, one time we were in Japan, and a student asked Toi Sensei, Sensei, do you have secrets that you don't teach us? Do you keep back the really deep, things? And he said, oh, not at all. I give you everything. I open everything to you. You're the one that keeps the secrets from yourself. I think that's very telling, that we do that by rejecting what we don't understand and can't accept, which are not already part of our structure. But if we're truly a student, we're here to let go of everything, just to listen. And me too, when you're speaking, or even now when I'm speaking, but I'm looking at you, well, all of you, have to be aware, not thinking about what I'm going to say, but aware of every little nuance that's happening in you, so that I'm supporting that, not supporting myself, not supporting. The teaching is not a historical document that I need to deliver. The teaching is whatever is arising in the moment. That is very important to me, that I'm not teaching. I use documents. Of course, 5 principles of key testing. I have to do something, because we have to throw a bone to our dog. We have to give the small mind, the Keiko, the practicing mind, something to sink its teeth into, so that it just will shut up and listen. If you don't have anything to hang it on, then very difficult for most of us. I have a teacher that I see once in a while, and I just saw him on Wednesday, and I sat down with him, and we didn't say anything for quite some time. Because when you bring this to the table, it's almost not necessary to have a subject to hang it all on. Maybe one-on-one that works, but with a whole group, it might be difficult. Someone might think, what's he doing? Why is he doing that? There's a famous teacher, Chogyam Trungpa Rinpoche. Maybe you've heard of him. He's passed away now. But on one occasion, he came out to give a lecture, and there were, in those days, hundreds of people that would come. And he would sit on his dais, and he came out and sat down and closed his eyes and didn't speak for 45 minutes. These people had paid a lot of money to come and see him, and many of them were his students, and even his students became very disturbed that he wasn't delivering anything. And he finally opened his eyes and said, "You see, now you know what your mind is made of." Mm-hmm. So, I'm not that harsh. I'm not going to do it. But I found it shockingly observant of him. Well, so it is 8 o'clock. I seem to have said a lot. So thank you so much for coming and taking part this morning. And I will see you next Sunday. Domo arigatou gozaimashita.
Domo arigatou gozaimasu.
Aloha.
Thank you.